Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Today we're checking out the Jake Hoback Knives Sumo. Now this is pretty much the only second Hoback I've ever had the chance of checking out, so really excited to do so. Now this one comes from our good friend Jamie Loves Knives over on Instagram. Really cool of Jamie to send this one out. He just contacted me one day and said, hey, I got a couple of knives here, which one you want to check out? And I was like, that's Sumo. Sounds pretty cool. So here we go. And here it is. So, as I said, this is the Hoback Knives Sumo. Now, this thing, you're looking at pretty much full titanium all around. Titanium, black titanium, stonewashed. It's got a nice stonewashed finish on it. On the handle there, looks really good. You've got the anodized purple titanium backspacer and pocket clip. Now, this is right-hand tip-up carry only. So, sorry lefties, no love on that. Now, as you can see, the titanium is kind of milled there, just to give it a little bit of lightning, not lightning and thunder, that type of stuff. 3D milled pocket clip. Very cool. I like the purple on that. The purple on that black looks really good. I mean, titanium thumb studs. I mean, it's titanium all around, which is pretty cool, and which keeps it fairly light as well. I mean, it's got a little bit of weight to it, so overall, it's not too bad. Now, not overly deep carry, as you can see, but it's pretty much in that standard half-inch-ish. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit as well. Some nice milling there on your pivots. Gives it a little bit of flair. Pretty cool. What do we got there on the blade? Psalm 23 from Hoback Knives. It's pretty much on all of their knives. Now, the interesting thing about this is obviously you can see that it is a button lock. But you've got the titanium thumb studs there for deployment, and you do have right or left hand thumb studs, which you can easily deploy the knife with the thumb studs. But in messing with it, and I'm not so sure this is the way it's supposed to be, but as you can see that there, you can kind of use that to flip it. Now, I don't really see anything, and I can't really find anything that say it's supposed to be a flipper, but it's really just a portion of the blade, right? But it actually ends up being a pretty low profile flipper, which I was like, well, that's kind of cool. No idea if that's the intention. I couldn't find anything where it says it was intended to be a flipper, but you can. You definitely can use it. So that's kind of cool. Action on it. Oh my goodness. I mean, look at that thing. It says it's running on thrust bearings. That thing drops. Get your fingers out of the way because it is coming down. Now we're going to get to the blade. 20 CV blade. Really like the look of that blade. It's pretty cool. Now I know it's a little bit more angular and so than I normally speak, but this belly, oh yeah, it chews up some rope. Now it's a little short than I like for my knives that I usually work with, but that belly really helps it out. Definitely. You got a really nice choil on there. It's not deep, it's not too big, but it really does the job pretty darn well. You've got kind of the milled area there in the blade. Now, that's the question. Can you? I can. Yes, I can Spidey flick it. Yeah, right at first I had to give it a little bit of wrist, but you kind of get down there on the tip in this area here, and you can actually Spidey flick it out pretty darn well. So this thing has got deployment methods for days. Now, if you really want to, you could do that. I don't like doing that. That's just me. We've talked about that many times before with a certain other knife. But yeah, lots and lots of deployment methods on this one. All right, specs. What are we looking at? Overall, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 about 7 1/4, almost 7 1/4, or excuse me, 7 1/2 fully open. They say 7 3/8, and no, I'm getting more than 7 1/4. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 7 1/4. But anyway, handle is right about 4, which is going to give you a 3 1/4 inch blade. Cutting edge, you're looking at right about 3 inches. So maybe just a hair under. So there you go. 3-inch blade limit laws. You might be in. Handle grip length. We're looking at about, from point to point, you're only looking at about 2 3/4. Now mine definitely kind of creeps out of that, but it's not uncomfortable where my fingers rest. So it's definitely kind of a smaller knife, and there you go. You've got kind of a natural thumb rest there with that slight ramp, and then the thumb studs there. It rests pretty nice, and I can get a really good grip on it. We're definitely going to talk about the grip here in a second. And you probably know what I'm going to say already, but hey, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, size comparisons. There you can see our PM2 is definitely a bigger knife by far. I'd say a good 1/2 inch on both ends, really. So pretty close to 1 inch longer. There's our bug out. So as far as overall length, it's pretty close to a bug out. Obviously, taller blade, thicker handle, all that sort of stuff. But in overall length, it's really close to the bug out. Let's get a weight on it. So even if it's all titanium, it's like I said, it still has a little bit of weight, 4.5 ounces. It's not bad. It carries pretty well. I don't mind the way it carries. And then, of course, we have 127 grams. So it does carry pretty good. Now, like I said, that ounce per inch of blade, we're definitely over that. But it still carries pretty darn good. There you go. That's kind of what I was saying. It's about a 1/2 inch sticking out of the pocket, so nothing too dramatic there. Obviously with that purple, it's going to be pretty obvious that you have something in your pocket because you got that nice bright purple color, but it does look good. Did I leave I left a string there. Oh, let's get out of there. Well, we just might do the rest of this. There we go. Got it. Didn't want to do the rest of the review with a string there. In and out of the pocket, it's okay. It definitely, retention is there for sure. A little bit of force in the pocket coming out. It's not too bad. But other than that, it's a good carry. Now, the overall. There's one thing that is keeping me from really kind of absolutely loving this knife. And that's that right there. That pocket clip and the placement of that pocket clip hits me pretty much all wrong. As you can see, it rides up on the top of that handle. And I don't know if you can see, but check that out. See, that is pretty much stabbing me right in the middle, in the palm of my hand. And I'm not really digging that a whole lot at all. And it's not sharp, but it's not comfortable. Really. Sorry, Jamie. I don't mean to badmouth your knife, but I'm just not a fan of the pocket clip. Everything else, I'm pretty much digging this knife. Seriously. I kind of like the shape. It's a little bit more futuristic than what, I normally go for. But I like it. I like the size. I like the shape. That blade. I'm digging the blade. The belly on the blade, the multiple deployment methods. You got, like I said, you got Spidey flick, you got thumb studs, and you even maybe got the unintended flipper tab back there. I don't know, but it works, and that's cool. But yeah, that doggone pocket clip. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but When I did SKL on the road in Portland, I kind of passed this around the room because I wanted to get some other opinions on that pocket clip. And unfortunately, it was kind of a resounding no on that clip and how it hit people in their hand. And that's just really, really odd to me. Because, I mean, including myself, there were 9 people in that room. And pretty much all of them were like, not really digging the pocket clip. So that just makes me wonder. I mean, it flows with the lines of the knife, and I get that aspect of it. It really does. But that makes me think, wouldn't have somebody in the production of this knife been like, hey, maybe that doesn't feel the greatest? Really, really odd to me that's the situation. So now, in looking at these knives, let's focus there. Now, in looking at these knives, if you look at Hoback's website, this knife was selling for right around $550. I believe it says it's sold. Yeah, they're all sold out on the website. But I'm just kind of, wow, And I mean, Jamie, if you like it, that's absolutely fantastic. If it fits your hand good, that's terrific. But man, I love everything else about the knife. But that pocket clip just makes it really not comfortable at all. And if it's not comfortable, obviously, I maybe use it every once in a while. But, I mean, unfortunately, there's many more options out there with pocket clips that don't aggravate while I'm using it. And that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate, because I was excited about checking this knife out, and I'd actually heard some good things about this knife, and there are a lot of good things about this knife. Pretty much everything but the pocket clip is a good thing about this knife, in my opinion. But yeah, no, with the pocket clip, no, I would have to seriously pass on this one. So I do appreciate, Jamie, you sending this out. I really appreciate the opportunity to check it out, to get it in hand. And this would be one, guys, that if you, in the future, if you see one comes available, man, I would have to strongly suggest you get this knife in hand somehow before you purchase one. Because I would really hate for you to put that much money out. And that pocket clip, I mean, you could always pass it along, for sure, resell it. But man, that is one I would definitely have to strongly suggest you get in hand before purchasing. Just my opinion, So, always appreciate it, guys. Jamie, thanks once again. Really, really appreciate the opportunity to check out this Sumo. Thank you so much for sending it out. Thank you guys for checking it out with me. Definitely appreciate it. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. I love talking to you. Until next time, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.